Okay, step 2 is we are going to do the mountain range in the back. You can see that this is completely dry, and so we're just going to do one color darker. So my water is also dried a little bit, which is great. So it's going to be a little more concentrated, and my color is going to be a little richer. If you want, you can also just change the tone of this. So if you want to add a little bit more red or some more yellow, just so it's a slightly different green, that would be okay too. So on this one, we are going to cover up more things. We're going lightest to darkest. So don't worry that this is going to be the exact same mountain range as what you see in the picture, okay? So I'm doing my wet on dry technique. My brush is really wet and my paper is already dry, and I'm just kind of mapping out this mountain range really quickly. Like that. I might get some more color and I might just blend this away. Again, we're going to cover up a lot of this as we go onto those trees. But step 2 is just really quickly putting the mountain range, and I would just kind of blend it so it fades away. All right, that's it. It's not a whole lot. I'm going to show you a way to lift out some of these highlights in just a minute once this dries. The other thing I can do is I can start to make the gradation down here on the water. So again, I'm going to know it's going to be lighter up here. So I'm going to do a light wash this way, kind of map out the pond or the lake. And again, I'm doing this wet on dry technique. Just add a little water to my brush because my brush is a little dry. And I want this to move without drying too quickly on my paper. There we go. So I like to do my washes pretty quick, just so nothing dries, and then I add my color afterwards. If this outline isn't perfect, I can adjust it when I put the next layer on top, so don't worry too much about this stage, okay? And I'm going to add some more color to my palette to get a nice rich, slightly dark green. I'm going to do this bottom corner and add in sort of like a graded wash while this is still wet, or think of this kind of like wet on wet. The paper's still wet. I can add some more color in here, and just like before, we do read rule, leave it alone. This area will end up being a little bit darker. If you brush too much, you're going to see the paper is going to start to react and dissolve a little bit. And so the paper is just trying to talk to you and tell you, leave me alone, leave me alone. So get your kind of graded wash going in there, or your wet on wet. If you want to add a few more dots of color, that's okay. Just don't overdo it. If you see the paper starting to talk back to you, leave it alone. Okay, again, go take a break, go do something. We need to let this dry in between our layers. See you soon.